I've never opened a window on a house. Why would you? Why would you ever do that?
So you can get a breeze in without turning the AC on?
Why?
So you
the
could
AC's
not
always on.
Kill the environment.
Fuck
by
the
running
environment.
AC.
I think that one would... Shut the fucking window!
Turn the window off.
A goddamn car driving by?
It's fine.
No!
It's fine.
No!
Everything's fine. We're
No!
gonna record this podcast.
No!
We do need to record this podcast that we've been trying to start for the last 30 minutes.
No!
Hi, welcome back to the Radial podcast. My name's Austin. I'm joined by Devin
Hello.
and Jeff.
You're going to have a hard time cutting that out.
Nah, dude, it's fine. We're just sitting here bullshitting, and
Yeah, we were.
the only way to start this podcast is if I just interject
It's true.
with the intro.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise we've been talking for over an hour already.
This recording is 54 minutes long up to this
Yeah.
point. Yo, I want to start a Patreon, and then like people who pay us can get access to the unedited versions of
Nobody's going to pay for that. Are you kidding?
Somebody might,
They won't.
and then they'll hear some shit that we don't want people to hear.
And
let's
that's how
not
that
do
will
this,
stay.
then.
Yeah, now people are going to be willing to pay for it.
You can't just dangle that out there in front of those people. I will break your computer. Talking about nerd stuff over here. You leave that inside the computer and it doesn't come out.
Nerd stuff.
Talking about movies.
Talking about Bill Paxton.
Talking about how this window's still open.
Yeah, the window's fine.
We can't turn the window off.
I apologize for the car noises you're certain to hear because Austin won't close this window.
If you
And
hear
or birds.
car noises or birds singing or raindrops, it's a beautiful 2 days before spring day here in Oklahoma.
Raindrops
And it's warm in this
fall on
room,
the
so I
window.
opened the window. It's raining right now. It's lovely.
Barely.
It's not raining.
I hear water falling.
It's
just
just dripping off
dripping.
the roof. It's
That's
not
fine.
actually raining.
You know, water like pools up between my house and my shop. That's like 2 foot outside that window,
Yeah?
and then it leaks into the shop.
Cool.
And then causes foundation problems for both, presumably.
More like rust problems for like the bottom rail of the shop.
Okay, yeah.
It's also a wood shop, so it's not ideal to have water in there.
No, probably not.
But you know, it's fine. Guys, some racing happened.
It did.
Devin,
Tell me more.
did you catch the Formula E race?
I did.
You didn't catch it live.
No, because it wasn't broadcast live in America, I guess.
You know what was broadcast live during the time when Formula E would have been on?
Sebring?
Sebring.
By who?
Fox.
That makes sense then.
That's why they didn't broadcast
But they
it.
could have broadcasted on their like digital network,
No, because...
like on the streaming service that they broadcast free practice on.
No, because
No.
that potentially could have taken viewers away from Sebring.
Yeah. That's hurting their ad dollars, fam.
You want to talk about Sebring first, then?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't really have a lot to say about Sebring. So.
This was a really good race over
Sebring?
here in Formula E.
Oh, in Uruguay.
Yes, in Punta del Este.
Punta.
You remember the like asshole like Oakley's wearing guy that was leading you into and out of commercials?
Oh, yeah.
He's gone,
Thank God.
replaced by Steve Matchett, which
Okay.
is weird.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, which I don't know if he is just no longer working for NBC or what the deal is, but I mean, I guess
He's not working for NBC.
yeah. So that was neat, and like he talked some about just like the cars before the actual race started, and I found out the Williams F1 team makes the current battery for the Formula E teams.
Neat.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Yep.
I
They're not
didn't
a technology company.
realize that they were a manufacturer of anything.
Apparently, big ass batteries,
Okay.
but also bad batteries, which is why next year McLaren's making the batteries.
I don't know if they're bad.
Well,
so much as they are.
They can't last an entire race, where McLaren's will.
This also seems weird that McLaren's going to make batteries.
McLaren's
I know
a
McLaren
technology
makes
company.
electric cars.
Do they make electric cars?
Well,
Hybrid cars.
hybrids.
Yeah. I don't know. I realize that they've got a technology group and they make all of the ECUs for all of the Formula One teams.
Yeah.
But batteries seems like a different kind of thing.
No, man. You got to stay on the technological edge of technology.
The bleeding edge.
Batteries for these cars weigh like 600 pounds, I think they said.
Jesus.
Gosh, man,
that's too many pounds.
Yep.
How many is that in kilograms?
That's a lot fewer than an engine,
It was like 240, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know about that math.
I don't know for kilograms. I don't remember. They said it. Both of my numbers could be wrong.
Somebody's yelling at their radio or phone right now.
They're a nerd, and the metric system sucks.
The metric system is so much better than the imperial system. Are you kidding?
Hard disagree.
Can go fuck itself.
How? No.
USA.
Wow, coming out of you.
100 miles an hour is more than 100 kilometers an hour.
Sure.
So,
by like...
I mean, more is more. That's a fact.
But
Math
having
guy, am
a
I wrong?
10-based thing makes so much sense.
What about if it was 12-based sometimes, and sometimes it was...
60-base and all sorts of awfulness?
Listen, dude, I don't have time to try to relearn a tape measure. So, we're just going to stick with the imperial system. And then I just convert everything on my phone.
I'd like to convert to metric.
No.
Let's get rid of these fractions.
No.
Fractions the best.
Fractions are terrible.
Only idiots think this. As a math man, fractions are the easiest shit in the world to deal with, and anyone who disagrees is wrong.
Truth, I deal with fractions on a daily basis.
As a finance person, decimals are way better.
Well, it's because the only numbers you're dealing with are hundredths.
And monies.
Or thousands, or 10,000s, or 100,000s.
You deal with 10,000ths of a penny?
Interest rates are a real bitch sometimes.
You're a real bitch sometimes.
They always round up.
We're going to fight over math.
Yeah, so some racing happened. I watched some highlights. I heard the names Sam Bird and Daniel Abt.
Did one of them get the Sam Bird?
Nobody got the Sam Bird that I saw, at least. Jean-Eric Verne starting on pole. Lucas deGrassi starting in second place, which is somewhat promising considering he's not made it to the podium yet. I think he's got...
That's Captain Audi,
points?
right?
I think he has 1 point.
Is he the defending champion?
He's the defending champion.
Bad season for him.
He's having a terrible season.
Because this is what, race 4?
I think this was race 5.
Ooh.
This was race 6.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, right,
race
because China
6,
counted as 2. It was China, right?
China.
I think so. I think so.
We have China.
I'm going to say I think so. But yeah, so he's starting P2, and Sam Bird's teammate, Alex Lynn, is starting in P3. Immediately, Lucas deGrassi's all over Jean-Eric Verne, and they are basically just staying like right behind him like the entire race. And like deGrassi's occasionally like trying to make moves, but just can't get anything done on Jean-Eric Verne. And they are essentially touching as they're coming into the pits.
Oh yeah, you did send us that clip where they're kind of like... I'm not going to say that word. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yep.
I was going to use a military term.
Don't.
I won't.
Because I bet it's bad.
Nut to butt.
I couldn't stop it.
Man, that's real close.
So there's no minimum pit time here still. So there was a chance that deGrassi could get ahead of him in the pits.
Whose pit was closest to the entrance and or exit?
Jean-Eric Verne's is closer to the entrance.
Did anybody get hurt in the pits this race?
Nope.
Good.
Great.
So those two come out, maintain position, and are still very close. And the two DS Virgin drivers, so the pit box is like a row of tents here.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's one of those tent city pits.
And the DS Virgin drivers came out of their tent at like the same time and just like came out side by side onto the pit exit. And then Sam Bird got ahead of his teammate Alex Lynn. So after the pit stops, it is Jean-Eric Verne still in first, then deGrassi, and then Sam Bird up to third. Which I think Sam Bird's my dude, because one, his car's purple, and
like
two, he gives people the Sam Bird.
Yeah.
And that's fun. Pretty soon after the pit stops, deGrassi's like pushing really hard trying to pass Verne, and like nearly goes into the wall, but man, like basically like drifts around this corner, and it looks pretty sick, except that he's fucking up Royal.
I wonder if he knows.
It's a Good song.
Go on, just keep going. Stop me.
But he manages to catch back up. So it seems like Degrassi's car is slightly faster, but he just stays like right up on Vern for the rest of the race and just can't get him. Eventually, they are like literally making contact. Like they're so close, and that slows them down a little bit. And then Sam Bird gets up right between them because Sam Bird was like 3 seconds back, and by the end of the race, he was right there as well.
They're slowing each other up by racing each other, so yeah.
But yeah, they were racing each other tight the entire race, so it was just like a full hour of not... Like, I bet those dudes were fucking exhausted after this race.
That's crazy that, like, you can keep pressure on somebody like that, and the person being pressured doesn't make a mistake, and neither does the person applying pressure and just smash into each other and crash each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
We have seen that happen before.
Yes.
Yeah. And it was kind of... The commentators were just like, yeah, Degrassi might just, like, fucking try and push his way past because he's got nothing to lose.
Yep.
Like,
he has no points.
John Eric Verne, I think, is leading the championship, and Degrassi is... His season's basically already done. Like, unless his opponents all have the same luck he's had. But yeah, they finish. John Eric Verne, Lucas Degrassi, Sam Bird. 1, 2, 3.
Hell yeah. Give him the Sam Bird.
So now, let me check the driver standings real quick to see how far ahead Verne is. So Jean-Eric Verne is 30 points ahead of Felix Rosenquist, who is in second.
Where did he finish?
I think he didn't finish.
Oh.
No. He finished in, like, fourth or something. I don't know who I'm thinking of.
In like fourth or something.
Turns out I only knew the first three.
He got 10 points. I don't know what position that is. It's probably like sixth, I'm going to guess. There was somebody else who didn't finish through, I thought. I think it was Andre Lauderer. Who am I thinking of? Somebody didn't finish. I thought it was him. I was wrong, I guess, because look at these points. Sam Bird just behind Rosenquist with 76, which is 3 points behind Rosenquist. I don't know if I said how many Rosenquist has. So Jean-Eric Verne has a pretty good lead. And then in the like constructors standings, John-Eric Verne's team, Tachita, has 127. Behind them is Mahindra with 100.
They make tractors.
And then DS Virgin with 93. And Audi back here with 58 points.
Audi's sucking
sixth
up.
Place.
They suck.
And how many points does Degrassi have now? You take a look. He's got 21 points. He had 3 before this race. Wow. And now he's got 8. Nice. He got 18 this race for that second place. But that's the first podium he's had all season.
Nice.
Obviously, considering he only had 3 points. But it was a very exciting race. I'm glad I actually watched it. I wish I didn't know who won before it started. But that's what happens when you watch a replay of a race because they don't broadcast it live.
Turns out Sebring is,
more important than Formula E?
Yes, absolutely.
For the U.S. domestic market, yeah.
It's absolutely across the world.
Yeah. I wish they would have broadcast it still. Because, I looked it up ahead of time this time because I was like, I'm not going to miss this race. And they're like, yep, here it is, Sunday, broadcasting on Fox this time. I was like, cool, it's on Sunday. Don't worry about it. And then, middle of the day, Saturday, I see a tweet that's like, yep, the race is about to start. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so IMSA has this thing called IMSA TV where they can broadcast the race. And, IMSA TV, they have in-car views that are free to watch for anybody, during the race.
Mm-hmm.
So Fox should have just said, you guys broadcast this thing. IMSA fans already know where they can watch it live if it's not on television, because that's where they watched it before.
Yeah.
And they should have broadcast Formula E. But capitalism.
It sounds like Fox isn't real committed to holding on to that license or to that contract to have their broadcasting rights for that. If FI's or Formula One is taking a step to do that, I imagine Formula E is going to get lumped into that.
Formula One is its
platform.
own company,
right?
But yeah, I think,
but it's still FIA. Well, I guess
FIA owns 10% and governs Formula One. That's it.
I think the FIA might make a move to purchase that technology to also stream Formula E though. Hey, can we license this?
Be smart.
Yeah.
I mean, or can we pay you some amount of money and
in a world where people are
us?
Cutting cable?
Yeah.
People need to be broadcasting their own stuff. So
absolutely.
But
We
yeah,
do.
so Sebring happened. I cannot believe that I missed that last week and didn't talk about it on the podcast. I thought it was next weekend.
Oh, Sebring?
Yeah. So the 12 hours of Sebring was yesterday.
I saw some of it was at night.
Yeah.
It's 12 hours.
It's a 12-hour race. It ended at night. It was dark. In the darkness. But, yeah, I mean, not really a lot to talk about here. I saw this cool wreck where a Ferrari ended up upside down. Driver's okay.
Good.
I can just tell you guys about the results.
Oh, geez, that Ferrari's upside down.
Yes, it is. It ran into the front of a prototype car that got spun around backwards in a corner.
Jesus.
So it, like, ramped up that car.
Yeah, that... Damn.
Yeah, I'll post a link to that on the socials. But the Nissan DPI took first class in the prototype class, or first place in the prototype class, which, like, that's cool because when our boy Yan the Man was driving a Nissan LMP car, it sucked.
He's still driving for Nissan.
Yeah, but not in this series, driving
Speaking
prototype
of
cars.
Jan the Man, I saw a post from testing over the weekend. He and his teammate came in first in their testing session out of however many cars and whatever
Nice.
racing that they were doing. So looking forward to him doing more. He's got good social media.
Speaking of good social media, Jordan Taylor and his team, Wayne Taylor Racing, got second place in the prototype class. And then another Cadillac DPI got third place. GTLM, the Porsche 911 RSR, the Porsche GT team took first. BMW got second place in the GTLM class. They're usually not doing well.
Interesting.
So that's cool. And then another Porsche, the 4GT, Ferrari, and then the Corvette. So kind of bummed to see the Corvette so far down.
But hell yeah, Porsche.
Sixth, then GTLM. Yeah, Porsche's doing good.
Yeah, we're like de facto Porsche supporters now.
You goddamn right.
I still kind of want the Ford to win. Oh, it was also the number 911 Porsche 911 race
Good.
car.
Not the 912.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one you're going to put your better driver in, right?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
would
You
assume.
want the 911 to win over the 912.
The Lamborghini Huracan GT3 won the GTD class.
Nice.
Paul Miller Racing.
That I feel like that by supporting Porsche, we also have to support Lamborghini.
And then Scuderia Corsa.
They're part of the VW
And then
family.
the Mercedes AMG team Riley in third place in the GTD class. Couple things I didn't know. Zach Brown owns United Autosports. Zach Brown of McLaren F1.
Yeah, which I guess explains why Alonso drove for that team.
Yep.
At Daytona.
Yep, that makes sense there.
And Lando.
What did I have here?
Lando
I think that's-
Calrissian?
Yeah.
Did not know that. I guess he is known for his racing.
You know, we talked about before, like, WEC LMP2 cars fit into the prototype class in IMSA. So, but also DPI cars do as well. Those are two different cars, but they fit into the same class.
Do they have to make any changes to go racing?
The LMP2 cars don't have to make any changes.
Do the DPI
But
cars?
the DPI cars are way faster than the LMP2 cars. So in an interview, I think it was Paul DiResta. Yeah, Paul DiResta and Zach Brown were both talking shit. They were like, yo, something's got to change because the only way that we have any hopes of doing well is if a DPI is unreliable. So,
Like, they don't have to have, like, a restrictor or anything? Interesting.
nope.
Weird.
The prototype class is generally built around the LMP2 cars. That way the two series can race with one another. That way you can have cars that run at like the 24 hours of Daytona. LMP2 cars, prototype cars, also run at the 24 hours of Le Mans and vice versa. That's about to change, though. We've talked about that shitstorm. What else here? Yeah, no, that's all I've got on Sebring. I watched a little bit of it, but I had dealings yesterday, so I didn't get to watch much of that race, unfortunately. So, yeah, bummed that I didn't call it out on the podcast, and bummed that I didn't really know what was happening until a couple days before.
I'm sure Sebring is also bummed that our viewership missed out on the heads up that they were going to watch it. We would have bumped their numbers up by at
A
least
considerable
3%.
amount.
Yeah.
It just, I like that track.
Our following carries a weight, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Throw money out of Simsa.
But I really do like Sebring. I set up my simulator before you guys got here. I was going to try to...
Hang on, is Sebring the airfield?
It's the airfield with the bumpy concrete corner.
I like that track and I hate that track at the same time.
Yeah.
I hate the first stint of that track, but I like the back stint of that track.
I like all of that track.
I cannot... The
very
first
unique.
part of it is so narrow.
But I set up my simulator, my VR racing simulator in the other room, and was trying to get going, and then I found out Project Cars doesn't have Sebring. So the only racing simulator that has Sebring is Forza.
Really?
Yes.
Weird.
It's lame. Forza's a good game, but I can't play it in VR. So
It's true.
Is it? Could you not play that on your PC? In VR?
no,
Probably
no,
not.
and
It,
like
probably does not have
the people over at Turn 10, not to like break away into video game talk, they could give a fuck about like peripherals, like racing wheels and stuff. Like they don't adapt their games for it at all. Like that Ferrari wheel that you've got of mine, I had it hooked up to the PC trying to play the Forza games on the Xbox and on the PC, and like you turn the wheel like an eighth of a turn, and in game it's turning it like a quarter turn. Like it multiplies in a way that like really hurts my head, and there's no way to calibrate any of that, and they don't care. They never have, they never will.
Yeah, that's bad.
So yeah, they just make games for controllers.
And I drive good with that controller.
Yes, you do. Yay. But I enjoy it more with the wheel.
For some reason, there's just even on the motion simulators, like there is some disconnect between me and the wheel, and like
It takes
driving
practice.
a cars is fine, but the simulators is like a whole nother different skill that doesn't. It's not like a one-to-one translation.
Yeah, it doesn't translate one-to-one, but I still find it more immersive than holding an Xbox controller in my hands. So I would much rather do that.
What if they gave what's his name?
Words.
FP3, the guy that hangs out with Lewis Hamilton, kid.
Oh,
What if they gave him a car driven by an Xbox controller?
Billy Monger?
There you go. That's
Oh.
his name.
He can drive a real car.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but what if he had an Xbox controller?
That's boring. Didn't you have Robo Race? And no thanks.
It's not Robo Race.
I mean,
I would like to try to drive a car that I'm in with a controller. That sounds like a good time.
I agree.
no.
I would
no,
do
thank
that.
you. No, thank you. I'm good. I need
Ooh.
the feedback.
Speaking of, do we want to talk about our NASCAR fix with the bus?
Oh,
That we were talking about?
What was that parody article that got sent?
Yeah, I think it was from Clickhole that was like, oh yeah, for environmental concerns, NASCAR is going to switch from having all their cars to just putting every driver into a single bus.
And then we went off on a tangent with this and thought about, you know what? One bus full of drivers might actually be pretty entertaining if the input of the bus was controlled by all 30 of their average inputs and they all had steering wheels and pedals inside of this one bus.
There's going to be so many crashes.
Well, no, just one.
Per race.
Yeah, I would watch that.
I want to see the pit stops on that. Like,
Yeah, see people break those lugs on a pit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of pit stops, I wonder if Formula E is going to switch, like have pit stops at all, like for tires next
Probably
year.
not, because they use road tires.
Yeah, I'm curious, like, how worn are the tires whenever they
Yeah.
switch out to the other car?
Must make the tire
Presumably
compound
not
harder.
very. Well, I mean, the cars are also going to be faster next year. There was some air quotes there.
Yeah.
I don't know if, like, that straight line speed translates into they're going to be faster in the turns as well. Presumably not. They might carry more speed into the corner, but they're just going to have to wear more of their
I'm
brakes.
not going to make any presumptions about that until that
2019
car is going.
Yeah, I'm really
on
curious
the track,
to see
but
the
I am
difference in lap times.
Not hopeful. So
Yeah, I would like to also see that. Are the circuits the exact same layout year to year?
I think they have been, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they were like going to do like a pole position go-kart thing where like, well, we're going to move our barriers around because it's not a defined track.
I mean, that'd make it more interesting.
I think some of the tracks are like defined. Like it's like they race on the same circuit in Mexico that F1 does. It's just they take a different route.
Shit, I've
Okay, I
got
was
a
gonna say,
group
yeah.
on to pole position. I need to go.
I would like to go to
It's
pole
about to
position again.
expire.
I haven't been in a while.
Go do it. I haven't been since
They kicked you out?
they kicked me out.
10 years ago.
Yep. They said this guy is too much racer. And they
Too
kicked
much
me.
racer that
Too
he
much.
went under a barrier.
Yep.
Yep.
I was rubbing and racing.
The wall.
Yeah.
The wall's real hard to beat.
So am I. Unless you put me into a wall.
I'll
Literally.
put you in the wall.
In the
We
wall.
go to pole position.
No thanks.
I know how to spin people around.
Yeah?
Yeah, you just like push on the corner of their cart.
Yeah.
It's
Just it's not. You don't have a trick.
It's not a trick. You just pivot
angular
over somebody.
momentum.
But you got to do it whenever it looks like it's an accident, and that way they don't slow you down.
I mean, I can just reach out and slap you across carts.
You probably could.
This says
Wingspan.
helmet there, though.
Yeah, I'll just
This is going to hurt your
pop that
hand.
visor open and just grab your nose.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's like that video with those Spec Miatas where he like folds the mirror.
I'm just gonna hold onto your bumper and slingshot around this corner.
Yeah, just like try to hold on to somebody who's faster.
Yeah,
It's clever. Devin, you can't use other people as brakes.
Why not?
When you're go-kart racing, it's not.
it's not ethical.
Yeah, it's not ethical. It's kind of wrong.
If you would remember the story, I am the one that got used as a brake.
That's fine.
This guy ran into me and I went under that wall.
That's fine.
I'm being thrown under the bus.
I've
just
seen-
like I drove under that wall.
I've seen people drive under those walls whenever I worked there, and people get hurt pretty bad. So
They should have
Yeah.
kicked that guy out, not me.
you're lucky. You're a lucky boy.
No.
Lucky boy.
Yes.
Well, with that,
Formula One, baby.
I want to welcome all of our listeners to our first full season of coverage of Formula One as
yeah.
it occurs.
I would like to use the word coverage very loosely.
Oh, we're going to be covering this.
We will be
We're journalists.
explicitly covering Formula One.
I think that we're still going to be covering other things.
No, we're covering the explicit side of Formula One is what I'm trying to imply.
Oh. I might use
We'll tell you every time somebody says to lick my balls.
Suck my
Suck
balls,
my
mate.
balls.
Oh, sorry.
Mate. Speaking of mate, we're going to Australia.
Hell yeah.
That is where round one of the 2018 Formula One FIA Championship is.
So, free practice 1 is in 2 days.
2 days as of the release of this recording on Friday, March the 25th?
Second?
2nd?
Days are hard.
Sorry, I'm trying to think about what today is. It's the 18th, 18 and 5,
22.
22. It's 18 4, but counting today, I don't know.
It's 20.
Calendars are hard. Days
Oh, wait,
are
no.
hard.
FP1's on Thursday.
What?
FP1 is on Thursday, isn't it?
It's
Why?
usually not.
It's usually not.
Yeah, FP1's on Thursday. So
Guess what, guys? Tomorrow you get to watch F1.
hell yeah.
I don't think that people have to go to work. They're not going to watch that.
I
It
literally tape my
airs
cell
at
phone to
8
my
p.m.
monitor and put my headphones in and watch it while I'm at work.
If you're Central Time like we are, FP1 is at 8 p.m.
I won't be
tomorrow.
watching it at work.
And
Yeah.
then, I guess it's just how the days work.
Oh, okay. So it's technically Friday.
Yep.
But because of
Here
theirs-
it'll be Thursday.
We're back
So-
to the radial
Remember when I said last
Geogra
week
time zone cast.
that it was 17 hours time difference? I counted the wrong way. We're 17 hours. Well, now that we had daylight savings, we're only 16 hours behind them. So it's their time minus 16 hours to get to whatever our time is, not their time plus 16 hours.
Right. So, yeah. FP1 is Thursday at 8 p.m., FP2 Friday at midnight. So 11:59 Thursday night, and then FP.
I mean Friday night.
No, Thursday. 11:59.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
FP1 and
to
FP2
clarify.
are the same day.
Yeah.
Same session.
And then FP3 will be Friday at 10, qualifying Saturday at 1 a.m., and then the race Sunday at 12 a.m. So
All right.
get ready
Australia
to race cars. I am so excited.
is in Melbourne.
Yes.
It is normally a park during
Albert
the off
Park.
season. Albert Park. It's got a lake in the center of it.
Lakes
and
are
it's,
fun.
It's quite a scenic track. Not a lot of elevation change, but I like the track a lot.
Yeah, it's good.
Similar to Canada in that sense.
Yeah.
Scenic, not a lot of elevation change, also a park.
It's a park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a man-made island that park's on.
That's neat.
Yeah.
This is at a prison.
Well, yeah, it's Australia.
Wow. You know, we occasionally have a download from Australia.
Not anymore.
They know their heritage. It's a clockwise track. The main straight is on the kind of southern side of it. The track goes around the lake. Turn 1 is...
As opposed to through the lake.
Well, no, it's not like on one side of the lake, you ass. Turn 1 is a pretty sharp right-hander, followed immediately by turn 2 to the left to basically be going the same direction that you were down the main straight. Turn 3 and... Turn 3, 4, and 5 are kind of a chicane complex, almost with 5 being a ways out after 4. 5 is a bit of a curvy bit down to 6. 6, 7, 8 is more or less the same thing as 3, 4, and 5 were. This is going great.
Yep.
This translates well on the audio podcast.
I'm sorry, I've never described a track before. I'm figuring it out.
It's curves. But
Curves.
It's also a circle.
It's
But
like a
not
bad
a
circle. It's like a circle that someone like went, yeah, and like squished in their fist, and it's like, this is what you have now.
So imagine someone squishing in their fist and going, meh. And hopefully you can picture what Jeff just did, and I just described Jeff doing.
Yeah, it's like if you squished a circle in your fist, but you had 16 fingers with which to apply pressure.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, fingers, you crazy.
Gotta use both your hands and one foot. You gotta
Really,
use some toes.
This whole track is pretty straightforward and nothing's too surprising, but turns 11 and 12 to me, for whatever reason, are kind of a real pain in the ass. Turn 11 comes after a long sweeping right that's also fast, and it's just kind of barrier, and all of a sudden you're turning into the barrier more or less.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just open. You could cut the corner through 12 to go back onto the next straight, but it's right at the end of a DRS zone, a turning DRS.
So you'll need that downforce.
Yes,
Yeah. Neat.
it's the one like on the run up to 11. You've just got barriers on both sides of you, so it's kind of blind. It's hard to judge when 11 is coming up and what angle in which to take it.
It's a blind corner.
Yes. It's a good track.
What if they did go through the lake and they built a tube that went under the water?
The drivers would suffocate.
And no, like
That's the answer. Everyone would die.
it's just like a plexiglass tube.
So people could drive on the ceiling?
Yes.
Yes.
Speed racer.
I mean,
here. Like
F1
Speed
cars might
Racer.
generate enough downforce to do that.
Or like
I think they
Extreme
definitely
G.
Yeah,
The
but
Extreme G's motorcycles.
their engines would not survive very long upside down, I'll tell you that much.
Well, they're dry sump. It's fine.
Yeah, not when the pickup's still on the bottom.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
It's not
What
fun.
if you just made the engine spin? Like, stay
Yeah.
always positioned the
But
same way no matter
the
how the
engine's
car
just on
was.
a gyroscope
Yes.
inside of the back of that thing?
I don't
Exactly.
know
That's
how-
probably really easy to do, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
no technician.
I'm not
but
an engineer.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I think that'd be neat.
That would be neat.
That'd be super neat.
Let's have an underwater race.
Submarine races with tires. Let's get this back on the track, so to speak. Let's talk.
I get it. Cars.
Yeah, cars, racing, motorsport.
So, what's everybody think for this race?
Uh,
So let's real quick summary: 2017, 2018. Cars are mostly the same. Shark fin is now gone. T-wing is,
Also gone.
but not really, because it's just at the bottom of where the they some of the teams still have T-wings, but since there's no shark fin to mount it to, it's just like at the base of where the shark fin would have ended.
Oh, weird.
It's a kind of an odd thing. Ferrari's got some oiling things that they're talking about. It seems
Yeah,
like
I think Renault's got something people are complaining about. Also,
oh, the blown wing where
Yeah.
the exhaust comes
Ooh.
to the underside of the wing. We talked
so
about that.
all of the speaking of Ferrari and Renault, because Renault did something similar, all the teams had like a handshake agreement. They were like, yeah, there's like a 12-month cool off before you can hire FIA staff.
Oh, yeah, I saw this
And then Ferrari was
bullshit.
like, nah.
I fucking hate Ferrari, dude.
I mean, any of the teams. Renault tried to do it.
Yeah.
Or did do it. I don't
Yeah, but
actually
this was
know.
like post that are like after that is when they came to this agreement.
Turns out, make it a rule if you want people to obey it.
yeah, because
Turns out Italians, you can't trust them.
whoa, I wouldn't go that far.
We have never had a download from Italy, so I'm not worried.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure that stays that way.
What if France?
What's the team boss for Ferrari?
Maurizio Arrivabene.
Arriva Bene, yeah. That dude.
Tobacco man,
Tobacco man.
the Marlboro man.
Hey, no, he doesn't have a cowboy hat.
No, he worked for Marlboro though.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Yes.
before this.
That's how he got that job.
Yep.
Marlboro still gives them money.
Yep. Philip Morris, I think, is their biggest
Philip Morris.
sponsor.
Yes, which is the company that owns Marlboro.
All cigarettes.
Probably.
I saw some posts the other day
Best
on
cigarettes?
social media about like people saying that they should allow tobacco sponsorship back into.
I mean, they made some great liveries.
They did.
I mean, Marlboro's got some good colors.
Red, white, and black.
Yeah. I mean,
So like Ferrari's colors.
yeah, except like actually with enough white to be interesting, though.
I don't. That is a good looking Ferrari.
I mean, we both
Nope.
said that
It's too bad that
we were
team is
interested
full of
in an all-red
scumbags.
Ferrari until we saw the all-red Ferrari.
Yeah, and it sucks.
I'm good with it. It's fine. Car's mostly.
You remember when
I
McLarens used to look good? Like in the early 90s when they had Marlboro?
You mean when Senna was driving? They
Yeah.
look good because they were fast.
They look good because of the livery.
Also, those cars were just like
And they
small and
sounded good.
compact.
Yeah.
And they had a short wheelbase.
Yes, short wheelbase. Bring back short wheelbase cars.
Yes. I agree with that.
Ferrari has a
wholeheartedly.
longer wheelbase this year than they did last year,
Man, long wheelbases suck. They super suck.
says the Mercedes fanboy.
Listen, I am not a Mercedes fanboy. I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan.
Boy.
Boyo. But what I am is a McLaren fan. And I predict that they're going to do well.
I disagree.
Ish.
Eric Boulier has
Maybe.
has not promised that they will be able to finish the race.
Possibly.
It-
But probably
It
not.
seems like he would not be surprised if they did not finish the race.
All right. Question. Do either of you think that anyone besides Mercedes will win the Constructors' Championship?
No, absolutely not.
Probably not.
I also think that. So, we all agree Mercedes is going to win the Constructors.
Did they? How many power units did they use last year?
4.
But they didn't use it till like right at the very end.
Yeah.
They didn't have to.
Right. So they're probably not going to hit the 3-engine penalty or get penalized by it. Would be my guess, unless something bad happens to one of their motors. They have
they have any
the
failures
consistent.
last year?
No, not really. Neither of them had to retire due to mechanical issues. Now Hamilton's
No,
car
Bottas did.
did he?
He did. I remember because he retired due to a mechanical issue the same race Kimi did one time when that kid was crying. Because I remember being stoked that Mercedes wasn't going to get a big jump in points there.
I remember Hamilton's car had some problems in Russia for cooling.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to retire from it. I feel like they've got the consistent reliability to just put them in the constructor champion spot. And both their drivers are relatively consistent. Like they don't have a whole lot of.
Did Ferrari did have failures last year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several. One,
Okay.
their drivers ran into each other. They're not really a mechanical failure, but
Renault had plenty of failures last year.
Yeah.
Vettel's car was broken
A couple times.
for
China.
Malaysia and China and Japan.
Yeah.
No, Kimi's car was broken in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Is Malaysia? No, Sepang. Is that in Malaysia?
I think so.
The
Or
one
was that
where
Singapore?
which one? Not the night race. The one that it
Okay, then that's
rained.
Malaysia, I think.
Yeah, the one that has that they're not racing at anymore.
Yeah, that's Malaysia.
Yeah, Kimi's car broke that race, and then Japan was the next week, and then Vettel had the same problem mid race where they were like, "You got to retire,"
Yeah.
because he was getting passed by everyone.
And then I was going to ask who you guys think for Drivers' Champion. Austin surely thinks Hamilton.
I mean, I don't know what else you want me to tell you.
I don't think Renault has the reliability to get either of their drivers.
Yeah,
to
I
the
feel like
champion
the
spot.
only way that it's anyone besides Hamilton is if he has somehow just like a bunch of bad luck and the Red Bull is faster than you'd think it would be.
I'm hoping Red Bull is as fast as what Mercedes is saying that it is, and what Will Buxton said it is. Like, and then they're not just like, "Oh yeah, we think Red Bull's going to be the one to compete with Mercedes."
Yeah, but like
Just to be interesting.
I would like to see. I mean, I guess Max and Ricardo actually won a decent amount of races last year. Just neither
Max
of
won.
them won enough on their own. It's
Did
like
Ricardo
they each
win a race last year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
he won two?
Baku.
Did he win just that one?
I think it might have been just
Max
that
won
one
2, right?
or 3.
No, only 2. He's
Only
3
2?
total.
Okay,
The first one was when Nico and Lewis ran into each other.
yeah, Spain 2016.
Yeah.
I was an upset person that day.
I was super stoked all
It
day.
was exciting because that was like the extreme Mercedes dominance period.
Yep.
Now it's just like they're still probably going to win the Constructors' Championship, but other people are going to win races.
Yeah.
I just liked the competition between Lewis and Nico.
Did you?
You
I
didn't.
think Nico Rosberg is a douchebag.
I think he's a worse driver than Bottas.
I agree.
I would agree with that. Well,
I like Bottas.
actually, I'm not sure I agree with that because
Nico sucks.
last year,
It was Bottas'
Bottas-
first year in the car.
fair, but he's not new to F1.
No.
no.
Or a Mercedes power unit.
No, but he
well,
is new
not
to that
one
car.
with a full power Mercedes power unit.
Okay, so this year should be a telling year then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm much more interested to see how Bottas does this year. I think he will pose a much bigger threat to Lewis.
Because Bottas won 2 races last year as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He won at least one. He won Russia.
Yeah. And he won even, like, without Lewis, like, having some failure.
Because Lewis didn't have any failures last year, like mechanical.
I don't know. We'll see.
If Mercedes maintains the reliability that they've had, they're going to win the Constructors' Championship.
I just... Sorry, guys. They're going to win the Constructors' Championship.
It's okay.
I would like for that to change. I'm
I've
pretty
accepted
bored.
it.
Like, I'm getting bored and pissed the way I was getting bored and pissed when Red Bull was winning all the time.
So let's bring Red Bull back on top.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Max Verstappen's okay.
Fuck you.
Yeah, but
The
what's your other option?
The fandom around him is what makes me just shut the fuck up.
You want
Like,
Ferrari
I like
to win?
Ricardo. I would like Ricardo to win. I fucking hate Christian Horner
Why?
because he is just a whiny
No.
little piece of shit. Like, I do not like Christian
I
Horner.
don't like you.
That's fine.
Christian Horner's cool.
I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't. What's Instagram?
It's this thing that we have. It's at Radio Podcast. Sometimes I make posts and I try to write hashtags.
Sometimes they're really
and
good.
I don't take anything seriously
I have
because if
stolen-
everything's a joke, nothing can hurt you.
I've stolen your Instagram format for like hashtags and stuff for my business page because it's really good.
Oh,
Sorry.
Congratulations on your intellectual property theft.
That's fine. It's fine.
It's
look
okay
at
when
me
you steal
setting
when it's
precedent.
from your friends.
Yeah, it's fine. It's mostly fine. You guys are stealing my oxygen right now, so.
Nope, it's coming
No.
in from the outside because the goddamn window's still open. It's not yours out there.
What? I am curious. Like, think critically. Don't just say, "Oh, they're going to do awesome" or "Oh, they're going to do shitty." How's McLaren going to do this year?
I think
They're
going to
fight with Force India. Is Force India still changing their name?
We don't know yet. Still, I don't think
What is the chassis called?
The VJ something?
Yeah.
They're not changing their name.
I mean, I think they wanted to change the name even like without like I don't think they were ever talking about getting rid of VJ. But I think they still wanted to change the name to bring in more international appeal.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think forcing India down people's throats is pretty good.
whoa.
Whoa. Curry.
It's fine.
So like
It's spicy.
I have trouble like
Super spicy.
thinking McLaren's going to do that well because so many other teams are looking really good.
I
Like,
think McLaren, Renault, and Force India are going to have a good fight.
I think Toro Rosso is going to be up in there too.
I think
And
Toro
Haas
Rosso is going. I think Toro Rosso is going to do much better
Haas is looking really good
than
too.
what
If we
anyone
can
thought
say
at the end of
things-
last year.
I think the only teams that aren't looking good are Williams and Sauber.
That is correct. And
I
Williams
agree
is
with
wor-
that. I agree with that
Who do you
wholeheartedly.
think is going to be the worst?
But I
Lance
don't
Stroll.
think that,
Williams.
Yes, Lance Stroll. I think Sauber still does worse than
I think Williams is going to do worse.
just by sheer force of money. But
I mean, they got that
They have
I
Ferrari
don't think
back.
They've
that we
got the
can
20
sit here and say that
They got
it was Bottas's first year in the Mercedes, and then say two brand new people to F1 who have like 3 or 4 races under their belts are going to come in here and just do awesome.
who? Toro Rosso?
Yeah, Toro Rosso.
I
Brendan
mean,
Hartley and your
if
boy
they're
Peter.
if they've got like a good car, they'll do well enough. Like in Bottas's first year in that Mercedes, he did like well enough to be number 2 in the drivers' championship.
He has the best hardware.
Exactly. So I think the Toro Rosso is good enough that they are going to be into that midfield fight.
I think that Toro Rosso will take 6th in the Constructors' Championship.
If we can use that logic on Bottas, who wasn't in second in the drivers' championship until like the last quarter of the season, then we can't sit here and say that Toro Rosso is going to be able to do better than those other teams. We're talking about new drivers.
Yeah, I'm just
Like,
I'm
who are
just
even
talking
just
about
new-
the cars.
Yeah.
Ignore the drivers. I think
Like,
that
I
the
think
Toro
that
Rosso looks like
the
a
Toro Rosso, if
pretty
it
good
had a Lewis Hamilton or even a Valtteri Bottas or anybody who had years of experience under their belts, I think they do fucking fantastic. Like,
I mean,
They're
Pierre
gonna
Gasly just spent the last year in the in Super Formula, which is the closest thing to Formula One, and then he spent he got 4 races in under his belt.
yes,
Something like that.
And how many?
And
He retired.
Hartley
from
got
some of
3.
those.
Yeah, he did. I think they both retired from.
So
2
they've
of
got
them.
some experience in those cars. So
They have.
I don't know.
They have more experience than one of the Williams drivers and one of the Sauber drivers.
Compared
Yes.
to where we were in November of last year, when we were like, "Oh no, Toro Rosso." Like, I have
My
high
outlook
hopes.
on that has.
I have
made a
very
complete
high hopes
180.
for that.
Yeah.
I was hopeful then, and now I feel less dumb about my hopes.
Yes.
I think it was
I-
easy to assume that
Yes.
Honda was going to be bad.
It was
Yeah.
easy to assume that Honda was the root of the problem.
I still don't think McLaren's the root of the problem.
Look at how their practice went. Like, they just had a bunch of just
But none of them were from the
technical
engine.
issues.
Well, no, that's not. They were all McLaren's fault.
Is the point.
Fair, but all of their failures and issues that they were having before were engine failures.
I mean, they had a problem with the turbo. Alonso blew up his turbo on his engine in practice.
But I don't think that it's fair to say, and I've been seeing a lot of it, oh, it's fucking McLaren's fault that Honda was such a piece of shit. No, like, I would hope that coming into the 4th year, Honda could get their shit together.
It's really more like the second year. Because
So
again,
being
they
able to
started
design their
from
own engine,
scratch
yeah.
last year.
Yeah, I
again,
mean-
because the first 2 years, McLaren was like, "Hey, this is our fucking box. Put your shit in here," and they were like, "Well, we can't."
I don't think that that's this thing's just going to be shit no matter what. Like, we're not engineers. We don't
No,
design
yeah.
engines. We don't know that. And I don't think that it's fair to say that Honda was bad and it's McLaren's fault that Honda was bad. Like,
No, I think last year was the first year again for that. Like, they basically redesigned that engine as far as what Will
yeah, but
Buxton
they still
said.
had years of data to go back and look at
Yeah,
things that
but
did,
like
did
it was
not work.
essentially like their first year again with this engine.
Yeah, my-
so
my
it's just
point
like
was
this
last
year
year-
it should goddamn better well be much better.
Last year, it was very easy for me to look at it and just say, McLaren's got to get rid of Honda. Like, Honda is breaking them. And this year, I feel like there's been enough mismanagement within the McLaren team that I'm questioning, was it truly all on Honda?
I don't
last
think it
year?
was all on Honda, but I would say the past 3 years have been a majority of that has been Honda related.
Yeah, I think people are just now realizing how much of the trouble has actually been McLaren, to where like really before this testing, the blame has been 100% put on Honda.
Correct.
Like, Honda's 100% responsible for all of this bullshit, and now people are realizing like, yeah, Honda was a problem, but like, so was McLaren.
I
it seems like.
don't disagree with that at all.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the shareholders at McLaren really fucked this up for
Yeah,
everybody.
like it
Like,
seems like
Shareholders
maybe
of
this
McLaren
was like
didn't
a,
make the car have cooling.
they're the
problems.
ones who changed the whole management infrastructure of McLaren.
right, but
Like-
they didn't cause them to design bad cooling and things like that's some of the stuff.
No,
that they
that's what
struggles with
happens
in
whenever
practice.
you fuck up upper management and then lower management, and the people who are making the stuff have no direction. Like, before, we all agree it was just kind of like, Ron Dennis is making this shit happen. And now it's like, there's
Ron
a
Dennis
lot of
seems-
chefs in the kitchen. Like,
I don't know how much that I agree with that.
Ron Dennis seems like an asshole.
oh no, he's absolutely an asshole.
I
think everyone in F1
here's
is
a
an
blanket
asshole.
statement. Every team owner or team principal is an asshole. You have to be to get to that spot.
I think
To an
Christian Horner's
extent.
pretty cool.
Christian Horner is a fucking asshole. Like, you got to go
Was
back
he the
through-
one yelling at a beatable last year?
Yes. But you've got to go back through and like see
Sure, that
some of
one-
the
I
shit that
think
he
that was-
said over the years.
Yeah.
He's an asshole.
No,
It wasn't it was the Toro Rosso guy yelling at Abitable last year. It wasn't Christian Horner.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh, so actually, that is an interesting counter. Last year, Renault and Toro Rosso were yelling at each other about whose fault the reliability problem was.
I think a lot of that is Red Bull not wanting to be at the forefront of that, and just like they do have two teams. They can push a lot of that onto the lower team to go cause the fuss. Like,
Right, but but Toro Rosso had more technical problems than Red Bull proper did last year.
Yeah.
And so they were getting into fights with the engine supplier about reliability. And now it's interesting that they've gone to historically speaking, more unreliable engine provider. And I'm posturing that they're doing well. Maybe McLaren was the problem when they had the same problems last year on the Toro Rosso side with their engine supplier.
1-to-1, right? Like,
no, it's absolutely not 1-to-1.
Like, I think that there's way more to it than what everybody's saying. Like, oh shit, maybe McLaren's just a bunch of assholes and Honda's been good this whole time. Like, no, no way.
No, I don't think that Honda's been good, but I'm saying there is less blame on Honda than I would have said that there was this time last year.
Yeah, and this time last year, everyone was saying, like, Honda 100% fucking sucks. God damn, this is all
but
them.
Also, we've only seen testing, so what if we come into this and...
Yeah.
I mean, testing was a pretty good insight into how last year was going to go for McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I hope
what if?
they're good.
I hope that McLaren is good.
I hope Alonso makes it into the top 6 drivers. Let's say 7. Let's make it a nice 7.
I want to see at least one race where McLaren and Red Bull are shaking it up. Just one.
That race is going to be
Silverstone, because it's going to rain.
probably
or
not.
Because it's going to rain.
Also, probably not. If it's anywhere,
What?
it's probably going to be Monaco because the other cars are too big, and they're going to have to qualify first.
I don't think they're gonna
They're not going
be able to qualify ahead of those other cars.
What's another heavy aero dependent track? Mexico. Just because of how thin the air is there.
I would say that U.S. like COTA is aero dependent because everything's
but
fast.
it's got a lot of straightaways.
Yeah,
It's got a lot of fast corners.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, fast bits of the track.
the fast corners are my.
But like the Mercedes last year at USA was able to, like, Bottas was able to catch up to the Ferraris and Max just on the straights, just due to sheer power.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to see McLaren win again.
Well, give it a couple of years.
I don't know that this is the year to see McLaren win again.
Yeah, unless like all 6 cars ahead of them crash out, and then also the Renaults and also Force India.
No, I think if it's with the Renaults and Force India and McLaren, like McLaren has a fair shot at winning.
Yeah, I mean, McLaren was faster than Renault, I think, in the testing.
Well,
because I think,
yeah,
at least
I would say that the McLaren is a better chassis than any of these lower tier teams. Like, I would say that it's number 4 chassis wise. We'll see if they can figure out all this dumb shit.
Toro Rosso's got a pretty good designer as well.
We'll see, man.
Yeah,
We'll see.
we'll know next week.
Yeah, because they got.
We'll know in a couple of days.
We can't. If we go based on what the first race is, also, didn't Ferrari win the first race last year?
And the year before that.
Yeah, so we can't go
Wait,
off
no,
that
they
either.
didn't. They fucking blew it in 2016.
Holler at us in July and ask us where we're at.
Please don't wait that long to talk to us.
I mean, yeah, like, you can talk to us kind of Winevskis, but... Yeah, put your face on your mic.
Hate that. Hate you.
I hate me too.
But, yeah, I'm looking forward to next week. Next Sunday, when we record.
Sunday.
Hell
With the
yeah.
extreme
we get
sauce.
to talk about
Wait.
Formula 1.
Are those only a qualifying tire?
The Extreme Sauce?
No, the Hyper Sauce.
Yeah, the Extreme Sauce?
The triple extreme sauce.
Yeah.
I was looking.
Wait, are they only for?
No, that's what I was asking. I don't
think so.
Surely they can't be.
Yeah, but
I think
But
the
I didn't-
tire selection schedule thing is out.
Yeah,
I don't-
And I want to say that I took a glance at it and don't remember seeing the Hyper Softs.
they're
on it very
not
much.
showing up for several races. I remember, like, very recently, the first race that they'll be at was announced, but I don't remember where it was. I want to say it might have been France, but that's too far away. It can't be.
Where's the French Grand Prix at?
France.
Yeah, but, like, what track?
Circuit de Paul Ricard.
Yes.
This is the first year for that back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Canada is when they will appear. So in June.
Oof.
It's a long ways.
Yeah.
You going to that race this year?
No. No, I have no money. Can't afford a plane ticket to Canada. Get out of here.
You got a car?
Can't drive.
Dude,
to
it's
Canada?
like
You
20
kidding me?
hours away.
That's fine.
Have
No,
fun.
it's not.
I like road trips, man.
I like road trips too. I don't want to drive to Canada. on that part of Canada, because that means I have to go through the part of the United States I don't particularly care for. It's very boring terrain-wise.
What about the Appalachians?
I don't think you're going to go through much of that.
What if I did?
You're going to basically drive to Chicago.
Oh, that drive sucks.
Gotta go see your boy, though. D. Leasy.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was trying to think of someone else that lives in...
road trip with you.
Oh, that'd be dope, but...
He does not have time for that.
He would not fit in that car.
He also would not fit in that. Well,
I mean, he's not that much bigger than Jeff.
he weighs like 100 pounds
dude.
more than I do.
Yeah,
I
but
would
he's...
say more than that.
No,
he's slimmed down.
yeah, he's down to like
He's probably like
260.
250, yeah.
Yeah.
That man is a giant.
Yeah, he's a sentient redwood forest.
And he is also a god among men.
And he's also a C-3PO.
Yep.
Nobody knows who we're talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm glad
on this podcast.
the three of us are the only ones that are going to have any idea.
I'll email him this clip / whole episode / download
See if he
link.
wants to come on as a guest.
Hell yeah. Just get berated by him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
be
okay with
great.
that. Listen, I will listen to...
Just, you fucking idiots.
I'll listen to Dave Lang berate us for 30 minutes.
I mean, I showed up on his podcast. Why won't he show up on mine?
I have also shown up on his podcast.
Not in voice.
Oh, not in voice.
Yeah, my voice was on his podcast.
Was it for realsies?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really drunk.
I was wasted.
Oh.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did you throw up on him?
No. No. I'm a professional.
I waited till I got back to the hotel room.
No, I have never thrown up in my entire goddamn life.
That is false.
I think that
Science.
is false.
Nope.
Actually, I know that that's false because you were at my bachelor party in Vegas.
I never threw up there.
And you were fucking shithouse.
Yeah, but I didn't throw
Your
up.
spine was attached to your pelvis by a slinky at one point in the way that you were walking.
Well, that doesn't sound like vomit to me.
You got us thrown out of a club.
It
You
doesn't
did
sound
get
like
us thrown
vomit to
out.
me.
You almost got beat up.
Doesn't
Yes,
sound
it's
like
also-
vomit to me.
Fair.
There you go. Proof positive. Never thrown up.
I know your mother.
Yo.
Whoa.
I'll ask her.
Yo.
Yeah.
She'll back me up.
Disagree.
Yo. I'm trying to get some new flip-flops. Who's got the
Oh,
who's got
yes.
the freshest flops in town?
Gandy's. Gandy's London has got the freshest flip-flops in town because they're now a sponsor for the MCL 33. McLaren's got a partnership with a flip-flop company, and they're putting their logo on the halo.
Hell yeah.
Actually, this company is pretty okay. They seem to do a lot of charity work.
Yeah.
For orphanages.
I think all
So,
of the
like,
money from these flip-flops are going to some charity.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Whenever these flip-flops become available, I'm trying to get a pair.
I might get a pair of those too because those are two good colors, and those are good-looking flip-flops. Those flip-flops look better than that car.
The
Fight
car
me.
looks fine.
Yeah,
They're-
sneer quote's fine.
They're
looks
orange
okay.
flip-flops with a like a slightly metallic navy blue strap.
Yeah.
I'm about that life. I
It
don't
looks-
even wear flip-flops, but I want those.
I hope they repaint the halo on the car to be blue.
They're not going to.
I don't think
They should.
They're not going to.
Why not?
They're just not going to do
It
that.
looks so out of place. It's the only black thing on that whole
But
goddamn
yeah, Jeff,
car.
be on the lookout for when
Apart from
those
the tires
go
and the
on sale.
suspension.
Your
because-
suspension.
Hell yeah.
Damn it. I'm trying to get some flip-flops.
Yeah, I've been looking for the last like 4 days trying to find them, and I have not been able to find them.
If you can get them for
But
less than $25, give me a pair too.
They're going to be like 30.
Less
dude.
than or equal to $25.
I would pay up to $50 for that pair of
Yeah,
You're fucking insane,
Dude.
Flip flops,
Dude, they do charity work for orphanages.
Just give $20 to charity and buy some dollar flip flops.
Yeah, but they're
But
going to
they
get
don't
$50 to
say
charity. this way.
McLaren on them.
these
Barely
won't
say McLaren.
after you wear them like
they
twice.
Will, it will because it's well, not yours because you got flat ass feet, but for the normal humans with arches, McLaren's written where the arch is, so it doesn't get much wear.
Hell yeah.
Damn normies.
The MCL logo thing will get worn through, though.
Yeah,
That's on the heel. It's okay. I don't wear flip-flops. So.
I wear flip flops. I have a pair of flip flops that I like. I have more emotional attachment to than I do like anything else in my life, and that's kind of weird. But I've been
You've repaired those things a time or two and been
All-
extremely proud of yourself.
over the country with them. They go on every road trip or flight with me. They are my de facto traveling gear. But I think it's about time to like, fuck it. You know what? I'm gonna frame those things once I get these new ones.
That's weird.
No, fuck
That's
you.
a weird thing
I'm
to
gonna
do.
frame them, and then it's gonna have like a map background in the frame.
With like tacks of all the places that those flops have been.
Yeah,
It's pretty lame.
and like a plaque. I'm gonna name them both each.
You haven't named them yet?
No,
Flip and
I don't.
flop.
I don't name things. I don't name cars.
Yeah, it weirds me out when people do. No offense
I
to
don't name
the
items.
percentage.
My car's name, as you can see from the
was
picture up there, was
shitty.
Guinevere.
Whoa.
It's a shitty name.
It's a
Whoa.
good. It's a good name for a car.
Yeah, for
it's a
an
very
obese
pretty
car.
Whoa.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
He is well aware of my opinion of that name for
He
a
does
vehicle.
not like that I named my last Mustang Guinevere.
Guinevere's a good name.
It is a good name.
I disagree.
There's a good song.
There's not a
There's
good
a
name
very
for a car.
good song called Guinevere.
No, it's not called Guinevere, the song I'm thinking of.
This one's by Eli Young Band.
This one's by Death Cab for Cutie.
Oh, I like Death Cab for Cutie.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. They're good.
Yeah, they are.
It's,
Chucking swords out of a lake is no basis for a system of government.
what?
He's referring to King Arthur and Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There's no
Yeah.
Guinevere in that.
No, there's not. I mean, they're not wrong, though.
Yeah. Aside from flops,
We Laugh Indoors is the name of that song. Anyway.
Toro Rosso was out in Japan.
Yeah, they were.
Japan. Wave.
Japan.
They were throwing toy airplanes and stuff,
Yeah.
Driving Acuras.
driving NSXs.
Those new
sorry.
NSXs suck.
You suck.
They suck.
They look way better than the old ones. Now our
Fuck
entire
yourself.
audience hates me. But that's okay.
I don't know about the entire audience, but
Only
I hope,
only the
I
dumb ones.
hope
Wow, now the whole audience.
now
hates
they
you.
do hate you. Yeah. No, the new NSX sucks. It sucked
I-
since it came out.
But it looks
I don't
good.
Think that
It looks
sucks.
bad.
I
It looks
think it's
really
a
good.
good-looking car. I don't think it should be the NSX, and I think it's overpriced
Why?
for the performance that it delivers because it's not what the NSX was.
So you wanted them to just give it a different name and then it'd
Yeah.
be fine?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I might be okay with that.
Why? What
You
is up
don't
with the
like
name
cars.
NSX?
The NSX wasn't a particularly fast car, but it was
No, I know.
incredibly with all your personal experience with it.
Yep.
Fuck
It's
yourself.
a slow, ugly car, and no one should like them. Anyway,
But
continue.
it was designed in part by Senna with other racing drivers, so it was a very balanced car, and it went around corners extremely well. And the
Had
new
all
one
that
just
mechanical grit.
doesn't
I
do
think
that.
it was where VTEC was introduced onto road cars.
I don't know about that.
Is that C30A V6?
It is a V6
Yep.
transverse.
Mid-engine. Transverse mid-engine, which is weird, but it's how Honda do. It's a very good car. Like titanium suspension parts.
The new one?
No.
The
Well,
old one.
probably the new one.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
Oh,
Maybe.
so the new one, also a very good car.
the new one, overly complicated.
I don't think the new one is a bad car. I don't like it being the NSX.
It got
because-
released about 5 years too late for its performance to be relevant.
I don't think they should have tried to take the NSX and make it a hybrid out of it. Like, if it's going to be a hybrid, like, just make it something new. A new name for it.
That just seems like unnecessary. Like, hey, this is the one race car Honda's ever made.
It's not a race
Honda
car.
has made more than
like road race car.
supercar. Is that the word you're looking
Yeah,
The supercar is the word you're looking for.
whatever.
for? I mean,
It's the one thing they ever have made.
So that's
Okay,
the
so you
only
don't
name they
have
can
to
ever put
tie
on
into
a
that.
supercar?
No, it's the one name they have. Like, hey, we've only used this once before. Let's use this again.
Why?
To evoke that.
It doesn't. Though.
It doesn't.
That's the point.
It does evoke the, like, memory of that car. It's like, oh, when you hear NSX, if you know anything about cars,
I think
you
of
know
twin
that's
turbo
going to be a
hybrid.
supercar.
I think the NSX was hardly a supercar. It was like bottom tier supercar.
It's a supercar in the same sense that
Okay,
a
so-
Viper's a
so-
supercar.
yeah.
I don't think a Viper's a supercar.
That's my
either.
point.
Like,
Fine, it's whatever. That's why I didn't say supercar earlier.
yeah,
But then you wanted to.
evoking some sort of emotion for the sake of it.
Is pandering.
It's that pandering is the right word because it's not that car. Like that car had something special.
I mean,
to
the
it,
current
this one-
Corvette is not the C1 Corvette.
No, it's better.
So let's change the name because it's a different car. Like, who gives a shit? It's a brand. It's whatever they want to name their
Then
product.
why do you have such an opinion about it?
I think it's a good car. I think it's.
I don't disagree with what you're
I
saying.
don't think that it's a bad car.
I think it's a really good name for that car.
Just because you can't come up with a better name, and neither can I.
I mean, I'm not trying to come up with a better name.
I mean, let's come up with another 3-letter
Yeah, I mean, how
thing.
hard
I
would it
mean,
be?
it's. But that car came out too late for the performance that it had available. It
I
should have
agree.
come out at the same time as the LFA.
It came out in the time that the Ferrari, the P1, and the
LaFerrari.
918
It's
all came out,
performance.
and it is a dog on track in comparison, and it's doing basically the same thing as those cars. It's a twin turbo hybrid.
The LaFerrari's so goddamn ugly. I hate that car. Just as a quick aside,
its
so
rear wing
hideous.
is pretty neat, actually.
I
The
think
way that it
it's
comes
a
out
neat
of the
car,
tail
but I
panel.
agree with you.
It's my least favorite of the three of those.
If they had come
trims,
out
but-
with the accurate NSX around the time that, like, it was rumored and pictures started coming out of it, kind of like how, like, this is a bad comparison, but you remember how, like, the 5th gen Camaro was like,
Yep.
what's fucking happening
Oh,
for
yeah.
like fucking ever, and
Yes.
it never came out. The same thing happened with this, and by the time they actually got it shoved out the door, it was like, okay, like, this car's fucking slow.
It's
like,
expensive
It's
and slow
way
in
too
comparison to
expensive.
the other things
the
that
cars
come
that
out.
are in the same price range as it or less are better cars. Like,
Yeah, you can buy one of the. I want to say you can buy one of the McLarens for roughly the same money, and it will thrash that car in every aspect.
it's just
The 570,
that car
I think.
is a disappointment all around. Like,
But I mean, you're already saying that the old NSX wasn't fast either.
no,
But
it
it was
wasn't
in-
fast, but it was good to drive, and it wasn't a dog on track.
I'm curious. I want to see some NSX lap times from the time that it came out, in comparison to the other road cars available at that time. Like, how did it?
Supras and
Well, now you're just naming other cars.
no. Like, these are the cars that it raced with, like in Japan and stuff.
I
I
know.
don't know, the
but
the
I wanna
only
see
place
the lap
I
times.
see that NSX is racing in Super GT is like the only contact I ever have with it.
And that's fine. I'm totally okay with it being an NSX there because it's more in line with what that car was intended to be than what the road version of that car is, because that is not some hybrid catastrophe.
It's a race car.
It's a race car.
Yep.
Race cars are good.
Race cars are good, de facto. Say Formula
How
E.
did we get here?
I don't know. How did we get
Toro
on-
Rosso, Japan.
Oh,
Toro Rosso
okay.
was in Japan
NSX.
driving NSXs.
There it is.
Neat.
We'll put this puzzle together.
I ran across this thing. So we all made mention here of Robert Kubica was faster than Sriracha or Lance Stroll over at
You know,
Williams.
I'm gonna take a stance.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I also
flip back
take umbrage with that.
on
Nope.
Sriracha is not an okay nickname for
Not
Sriracha
Sriracha.
because I actually kind of like that guy now.
I don't.
And also, Sirotkin was faster than Kubica at
Was he?
some point.
Yes.
Yeah. Eventually. Lance Stroll never was. Lance Stroll sucks.
He's just got a dopey face that I hate.
I hate him so
just kinda-
much. He's like,
I don't know how to think.
I got third once because everyone else crashed around me. That's my Lance Stroll impression.
He did good in GP3.
I did good in GP3. That's my Lance Stroll impression.
Jesus.
I've got money.
I mean,
Have you met my dad?
Surratt can say the same thing. I'm gonna have to just remember his name, I guess. 'cause
Yeah,
you guys
and
are
he'll say,
assholes.
I've got money. That's my Russia impression.
That's really
Wow.
bad.
I've got... Well, hold on. I should be able to do this better. I know some
Rubles.
Russian. Rubles.
This is really bad. All right, so
My father have money. Moi papa.
I saw this thing on
My-
motorsport.com. Shut
Yes.
the fuck up, Devin.
Rubles.
It
My
was a
Russian's
quote
terrible.
from quote unquote Williams. It did not say who said this.
My money's on Frank.
It just said Williams.
Just kidding. Nobody's talking to Frank.
Frank's got 1 foot in the grave. By 1 foot, I mean
I
one
actually
wheelchair
didn't
wheel.
realize that he was still alive.
They say, quote, I think it's very difficult to sit here and say that have Williams potentially made the wrong decision because the reserve driver has set the fastest lap, end quote. Quote, no, I don't think that is right. End quote.
There you have it. Kubica's not as good as those two kids.
Turns out, the driver with experience isn't the best choice. It's the ones who just coincidentally have a fuckload of money.
I mean, they want to be a team.
They can still be a team. They're making batteries for... Oh, no. Never
No,
mind.
not anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Cash cow's over.
Whoops.
Shit.
Did we
Sucks.
mention that?
We did.
Okay, I wasn't
We
sure.
did mention that. One thing that we... Did we mention what time all
Yes.
this stuff is on for
Yeah.
Australia? Okay.
Yeah. 12 a.m. Central Time, Saturday night,
Stay up.
technically Sunday morning.
Yes.
Stay up. Post in our group. We'll be awake. And by we, I mean none of us.
I will-
Maybe Devin.
I will
Definitely
be awake. Yeah.
I'm not staying up for that race.
Are you kidding me? First
Dude.
race of the season?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you, old man? Stay up.
I'm old.
Stay up.
Pound some old glories. And
Hell yeah.
this podcast brought to you
Support
by
your team.
Old
Get you some
Glory.
Red Bulls and just Intravenous.
You mean some monsters?
You get some
No.
Monsters. I'll get some Red Bulls. You get some Toro Rossos.
No, fuck you. You drink the Toro Rossos.
You get some Hype Energy.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a sponsor of Force India. Hype Energy.
I'm not drinking that.
Yeah, I bet you can't even get it here.
I bet I can.
Man, we never got that Lewis Hamilton.
I really
special
want to
edition
try that
Monster.
Lewis Hamilton Monster.
They never had it here.
Hey,
but
guys.
USA.
Do you want to eat that thing that I brought?
No.
No.
Please?
No.
I need...
No way. We'll
No.
put...
Now I've brought it up.
You've brought it up, and now we're going to mail that away so it doesn't come anywhere near my mouth.
Fuck. More motorsport stuff. Also, we have Formula One coming up, but also this next Sunday is the first round of the Central Oklahoma SCCA Autocross.
Are you going to attend?
Maybe.
I'm
It's
not.
at 7 a.m., so that's
Oh,
kind of early.
no way.
Especially considering that I will have been watching the Formula One race that night.
Yeah.
No.
Won't be going to sleep till
I
like
mean,
2:30.
we could have been in attendance if, we had a battery for the Porsche. And
Yeah, that's the one thing stopping us.
Yeah, that's
It's the only... Dude, I got milk crates and zip ties, all right? Everything's fine.
I was trying to figure out how those replaced our tires, but I
Those
realized
replace
that
our
those are
seat.
for the seats.
I can put air in those tires. It's fine.
What replaces the engine?
It doesn't need an engine.
You.
Oh, shit. Are we going to, like, yabba-dabba do our way down the track?
With our floor pan in the condition that it is, maybe.
Stomp a fucking hole through the floor. Also, some road car stuff. Very briefly, there's like a new Ford small off-road SUV coming.
Hate it.
I mean,
We've seen is like a silhouette and some curves.
I hate those curves.
they're not really curves either. To be fair, they're like hard lines.
I really fucking hope they call it a
very-
Bronco 2.
Boxy.
I bet they don't call it the Bronco 2.
I hope they call it the Bronco 2.
What if
Speaking
they call
of
it
which,
the Bronco 3?
the Bronco is coming back. Hang on, let me pull up this thing so you can see a picture of it.
It's not really. It's a rendering, right?
No, this is it under a sheet.
That
Oh.
even worse.
But they've had pictures out of the Bronco.
I thought this was the 2.
No, like we're talking about the 2, we're talking about the Bronco, and we're talking about the 2019 GT
We're talking
500.
about O.J. Simpson.
So this picture here is the little baby Bronco thing that's coming out.
Wait,
It
they're
looks
doing
like
a
an
full Bronco 2?
FJ Cruiser.
It kind of
Crossed
looks like
with the Jeep
the
Renegade.
new
Cross
Ranger,
with the Camaro's
right?
headlights.
No, it looks like a Jeep Renegade mixed with an FJ Cruiser.
Yeah, it
But
looks...
I hope they call it a Bronco 2 because it's already confirmed the Bronco, proper big body
okay.
Bronco, is coming back.
And it's got Camaro headlights.
what's the big one look like?
A sheet.
Hang on.
Looks like this
Hang
Honda
on. There's
ad.
just a sheet over it.
That looks like a Jeep Wrangler.
It
They've
looks
got
like a Jeep, right?
Dirty sheet.
That looks like a
'Cause
filthy
it's been
sheet.
off-roading.
That's gross.
But it looks like, and I'm kind of like stealing this from the guys over at Turbo Timer since they call us out and we're fucking copycats on everything.
Hell yeah.
But it
Your
kind-
page is scrolled on its
Oh
own.
no, it's a Chevrolet
Ghost
ad.
Scrolls.
It kind of does look like a Jeep Wrangler, but it kind of looks like this original Bronco, this square, small Bronco looking thing. So, like, if that thing has like
I'm
a removable
done with square
hardtop,
cars.
if it has like a removable hardtop on it, and,
What
like,
if the windshield folded down?
I'm on board.
Let me tell you, I got news for you. Let me start that sentence over again. What if I told you could just go buy a Wrangler?
No.
Because it's going to be cheaper than that.
Could I fit in the back seat with a revolver?
Yeah.
Why do you need a revolver?
To, like, yell at while I pointed at my head because I'm O.J. Simpson.
You're yelling at the gun?
Yeah.
No, I'm excited for that because I like off-road stuff, and I'm excited for this little baby Bronco thing. I fucking hope they call it Bronco 2. And then there's the front end of the new GT500, which
grill.
looks like an Audi.
It looks like an Audi, so better than what they've got going on currently.
mixed with a Lexus because Lexus is real into big grills.
But it's got the Cobra.
Would you get on your mic, Mr. Leaner?
to look at pictures. So I'm just going to yell and hope for the best.
We're not
It's
cool, and we don't have a
bad.
TV out in front of us.
The roof line of that car is insanely low, or this is just a weird
This is just the
perspective
front
trick.
end.
Well, I know, but you can presumably see the roof line there.
No, you can't see
No,
the
I don't know what's up with that light in the back. I think
that
that's
light
like
is
the
probably
hood.
the windshield back there. Like, that's the cowl right
Yeah.
there. And then that'll be the windshield back there, but you can't see the roof line on it.
Yeah.
It's going to look like the SY50. Like,
But better, because it looks like an Audi.
That No.
Guys, what if it has twin turbos and
It
not a
doesn't.
supercharger?
It's probably going to be supercharged.
But what if it has twin turbos?
I'm pretty sure they said that it was going to be supercharged.
Oh, that reminds me. I need to buy a Fiat.
Where?
Read the article.
Reading the article.
I would never read an article.
They teased the Mach 1 thing in January. That'd be dope.
Stop bringing back so many Mustangs for the sake of making money.
Mustangs are cool.
Yeah, but
No.
you don't need...
No.
Like, you just did the Mach 1 14 years ago. You don't need another one.
I mean, they just did the Bullet 16 years ago.
Yeah, no.
17?
They did it in 2008.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
They've done the Bullet twice in the last 20 years.
No, they did
Thrice.
the Bullet
3 times now.
thrice
Well, yeah, with the new one,
Plus
now 3
OG.
times.
from the movie.
That one wasn't a... Yeah, but that doesn't count because Ford didn't make
And
that.
OG Mach 1s are cool.
Are they?
Yes.
They are.
69 Mach 1 is actually kind of like
Yes.
on the list.
Yeah, sorry. I was...
It's on the dream car short list. So
for whatever reason, I was thinking of the Mustang 2,
no, God, no.
which is not good.
That's the
which
worst
is why
car.
I said bad.
That almost ended up being like my first car.
I'm sorry.
A Mustang 2.
I bet you would have liked him if it had been.
I bet you would if you were real into nostalgia like that.
Yeah. You're like, oh, things used to be like they were.
Yeah, they were good.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
It's a conversation we're literally having right now about the Bronco.
Broncos were good.
Were they?
Yes, they're still good. Bronco 2s are especially good.
Because you have one.
Because I have one. The radiator's leaking.
That's unfortunate.
You
Are you sure it's not just a line?
No, it's coming from the front.
could get like
Middle.
put some stop leak bullshit in there.
I kind of don't know where I want to go. It's going to Alva next week to get a clutch because I don't want to do it. So I'm going to make my dad do it. But what are you shaking your fucking hands
fists
about
at?
like a little kid?
I'm excited. There's
Tell
a
us.
2012 Fiat 500 for $2,500. It looks like somebody wrecked it, but like,
Fuck.
I bet it looks
I'm
the
sure
exact
that it
same.
just looks that way and it didn't actually get wrecked.
look at that. They got the headlight delete, so I could install
And
a
the
second
front
turbo.
bumper crack mod.
I don't think that those cars are turbo. Are they turbo like across the
No.
No,
line?
just the Abarth.
I don't even think the Abarth is turbo.
Yes,
Is
it
it?
is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It absolutely is.
Who?
It currently runs and drives without problem.
Except for you can't see at night.
You can just kind of half see. You look like a motorcycle.
If I cannot sell it, I will allow the insurance company to scrap it. Don't you fucking dare.
It's just gonna go to Copart, and you'll be able to buy it for like $750.
Deal. Oh, gross. It's got a leather steering wheel. Never mind. I don't want this. Get this leather out of my life.
Fuck.
This is actually the ugliest color.
Houndstooth is the name of the interior of the Fiat 500 that Evan sat in at the auto show.
Yep.
The fabric
Glad
pattern.
that you got that off your chest.
It was bothering me so much because it was not gingham.
It's tweed.
I don't know. It was absolutely not tweed.
Tweed.
You ignorant piece of shit.
Apparently, they make
Tweed.
the Fiat 500 in turbo that is not the Abarth as well.
Turbski.
But is it a 5-speed?
Probably.
Probably not.
I would hope that all of those are manual transmissions.
A
No.
Barth? No, we're talking about like all Fiat 500s?
Yes.
I would like
Yeah,
to.
absolutely
I would
not.
like to point out a part of this ad. Beats by Dre sound system with 10-inch subwoofer. Parenthetical. Very fun.
What?
Very fun.
You need
Oh, this
some
is a manual.
overpriced fucking bullshit?
Don't disgrace Dr. Dre like that. He's a doctor.
Where did he get his doctorate?
I don't know.
The
I don't
University
remember.
of Cash.
Some school in California, I think.
Does he actually have a doctorate?
Yeah, it's honorary.
Oh.
I think he was Dr. Dre before that came along.
He was.
Well, duh.
That's how you get doctorates. You just claim to be a doctor until someone's like, "All right."
I'm a doctor
I am a
of
doctor now as well.
podcasting.
They call me Doctor Podcasts.
It's my new nickname.
Doctor
I'm
Podcast.
a doctor of self-deprecation.
You guys ready to end this podcast?
Oh, I've been ready to end it for a long time.
Formula One.
Formula One next week.
Oh, I'm actually stoked as hell about that. Hell yeah.
We'll have some shit to talk about.
Like a whole race that we all actually watched and care about.
Lil Juice is going to Alva to get a clutch, so maybe news about that later. And hopefully we work on the Porsche sometime here pretty quick. So,
She get battery and spark plug wires.
and a seat.
That can come later.
Where can they find us on all the social medias?
At Radio Podcast.
Yes.
Which one in particular?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com.
I hear the Facebook's pretty legit.
No. Not as legit as the Twitter.
We got this cool group where people interact with us. It's called the Radio Podcast Crew on
Where
Facebook.
other podcasts interact with us.
Where other podcast hosts
and
interact
Zachary
with
Carroll.
us. Zachary Carroll and Spencer Crone interact with us. And I guess the dude who claims to be a super fan but hasn't given us any money.
I wish that guy would give me some goddamn money.
I wish he would give me... I used some of his ammo today. We're good.
I know where he lives. It's not a threat, it's just a...
Just a statement.
Fuck.
Just saying.
I'm hungry.
Okay, let's end this so we can go eat. Check us out, radiopodcast.com, shop.radiopodcast.com.
HatsuneMiku.racing.
Like they said, all the social medias at Radio Podcast. Be sure to give us a rating or review on iTunes. We super appreciate it. I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye-sies.
Later.
Good things don't trap.
Trap music traps.
Hell
And that's
yeah.
good.
Hard
Sometimes.
disagree.